and welcome to Africa Diaspora Channel and CRBC. Yes, we do a lot to bring to you what you need to know, where you put your money and where you put your investment. Right here in Cross River State, a lot is happening for the betterment of Cross Riverians and those of you who reside in Cross River State, those in Nigeria, those in Africa, and those of you in the wider world. Yes, a lot to invest in, a lot to leverage in on. This morning in Cross River State, we are delving into a new scheme that the governor of Cross River State has initiated for the benefit of not just everybody, but also civil and public servants. To tell us more about this scheme, we have with us the head of service Cross River State in the person of Barrister Orok Okon. Good
Thank you
morning
very
to
much.
you.
Good morning.
A dapper
Thank you.
gentleman, if you ask me.
Thank you.
And of course, alongside we have with us Barrister Baje Ayuk. Good morning to you. She
Good
is
morning.
head of the housing scheme, and that I have let the cat out of the bag. What we are going to be discussing. Well, I'll leave the head of service to let us in on this scheme. Now, the governor of Cross River State has, introduced a new scheme of a decentralized housing scheme for civil and public servants. Let us in on this particular scheme.
Okay, the state administration thought it expedient, seeing the spiraling cost of development of landed property, as well as the spiraling rents. It will be a practical impossibility for an average civil servant to own a landed property. So the governor has come up with this statewide housing scheme for civil servants spread across the 6 urban centers, Calabar, Ugep, Itigidi, Ikom, Ogoja, and Obudu. So the Ministry of Lands is in the process of acquiring sites for the housing estates in those 6 locations. So civil servants will have the option of subscribing to any of the offerings in any of the locations as they prefer.
Okay.
So it's not just a Calabar-based scheme. This is going across the state, recognizing that we have workers all over the state. And the scheme also captures local government workers as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I'd like you to let us know what are the key objectives of this scheme and how do you plan to, actualize or achieve this?
It is essentially to make it a practical and painless possibility for civil servants to own their own homes. Knowing the cost of development now, it will look like a practical impossibility, but the type of structure the governor is unveiling, the properties will come subsidized. So the civil servants will not have to pay for the entire development cost, and the repayment will be spread over a long period of not less than 15 years.
Wow, 15
Yes.
years.
And at little or no interest.
Okay, I think that's a good one for civil and public servants in the state,
Yes.
even in the local governments as well. Well, I'll talk with you, Baji. Who are the people you think are eligible to this? I mean, judging from status of your stance as a civil or public servant, we have levels, to these things. Now, who are the people who are eligible, and what are the levels to which they are eligible?
Okay, for you to be eligible, first you have to be a civil servant in the Cross River State employment, and then you have to be a confirmed civil servant. You have to have your confirmation letter. When we say confirmed civil servant, you have to have a confirmation letter to that effect. And then the scheme will be in the the development will be in structures. We would have 1-bedroom flats, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. We are taking into cognizance the fact that civil servants are not all in the same grade level, so that all grade levels will be fed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how do you ensure transparency and fairness in this scheme?
We are on air
Yeah.
and we know that everybody's listening. We are saying that this is the season of sweetness. Everybody will be carried along, devoid of race, tribe, or whoever you are. And that's why the governor, in his magnanimity, has approved acres of land across the state. All the senatorial districts are being represented, not just the south alone. We have northern senatorial district being represented, and also central. That is to ensure that everybody is being carried along.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Barrister Orok, thankfully you are a civil servant yourself, the topmost. What do you think necessitates this kind of scheme? Seeing that already in Cross River State and in Nigeria, there are usually packages for civil servants during and after their service. What do you think is the drive for this scheme?
The drive is that necessity. Food, clothing, and shelter are the basic necessities of life. So the governor thought it wise to facilitate shelter for the workforce.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I'd like you to, because I mean, you will be like a focal person or a middleman between the civil servant and the government. How do you feel the pulse of the average Cross Riverian with this development?
They're excited because even land acquisition alone by a salary earner looks like a practical impossibility, not to then imagine building. So this is coming facilitated by the state with inbuilt subsidies in it. So it could not have come at a better time, and it could not have come in a better form than a subsidized scheme where you pay with ease. It will be structured in such a way that the monthly repayments will be minimal, next to nothing. It will be painless.
Okay. Painless. I think that's a word that civil servants would love to hear. You know, the fact that I'm going to pay for this, but it's not gonna hurt me. It's not gonna pain me in any kind of way. Anyway, these are good ideas and welcoming for every civil and public servant in Cross River State, and I believe it's viable by other states as well. But you would agree with me that this is no walk in the park. Well, we sit here and we talk about it nicely and it sounds very, good and easy. But I'm sure there are challenges to actualizing this scheme.
Yeah, but we are on top of them.
Okay.
The Ministry of Lands is already out in the field trying to identify suitable locations and meeting with stakeholders so as to perfect the acquisition and pay compensation, and then do the needful to put infrastructure in the various sites.
Okay.
So it's an involved process, but it is not one that we've not done before. Neither is it one that we cannot overcome. But it's in the normal course of such schemes. We're on top of things.
I like the fact that you are on top of things. I mean, it's, like I said earlier, I'd like to, when we see some certain people, you just believe that, okay, I'm covered. So I think with you and the current situation in Cross River State, I think civil servants are covered. Okay, Baji, I want you to let us in on funding. Now we know that The civil servant who is going to directly benefit from this scheme will have to pay a certain percentage, which is in quote painless. You know, what other aspects of funding? How do you bring other parties to play?
There'll be partners, most definitely, like the financial institutions, for example. I think it is time for them to carry out their corporate responsibility. And then we also believe donor fundings, even individuals. I think it's also an opportunity to even call on cross-riverians who are outside, cross-riverians that are well-to-do. So please, this is time to also not to leave everything to government. It's time to also assist in any way they can. It's genuine, and they'll see where their money is going to. It's time to uplift our state.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I like the fact that you've called out to cross-riverians in the diaspora.
Yes.
Barrister, how can an off-taker be directly involved? How can people invest in this scheme, especially those of us who are not in the country?
Okay, at the appropriate time, we will issue prospectus to prospective funders and prospective developers, because it's a very viable venture for any participant.
Okay.
Because in business, one wants to be assured of the return on his or her investments.
Yes.
And the returns here are extremely secure and certain. Whatever will be agreed as a development cost, the off-take car market is in place. Their cash flow is guaranteed, and their repayment structure and source are all guaranteed. What I mean there is, as a civil servant, if I subscribe to the scheme, the people financing the scheme, the people developing the estates, they are all secured, because government is there as employer and guarantor to ensure that my monthly repayment will be made to the financier or developer, as the case may be. So it's very safe, very secure, and guaranteed, because the financial model would have established what are the fundamentals in the transaction. And when we now come to say, okay, this is the figure for this type of property, this is the figure for that type of property, and then the off-takers too will look at your paycheck, and by the way of this type of financing, what one needs to pay should not exceed probably 10% of one's take home. So that is almost painless and seamless. So it's a very veritable undertaking for all participants, all stakeholders.
Well, last year, 2025, if you are a cross-riverian, in fact, everybody around the world, we witnessed the Africa's largest street party, the Carnival Calabar, and we found out that we had a lot of foreign presence. We discovered from that display that we had diasporans, cross-riverians who are in the diaspora, who are now very much interested in what's happening in Cross River State, and they want to be a part of it.
Yes.
Now, with this scheme, we have a large audience in the diaspora. Who will be a focal person where they can connect and make investments if they were to?
Okay. The head of the scheme is the focal person as far as the scheme is concerned. As the need arises, I've said at the appropriate time, when the financial models have been validated, prospectus will be issued. So even if one is in the diaspora, if they want to come as a group or a corporation, as a corporate entity to develop any of the estates, why not? Why not? So
Okay.
why not? We'll be very happy to have them.
Well,
Because government is not necessarily going to be the developer. Government is just the enabler, facilitator.
Okay. I actually want Bade to leverage in on that statement because well, for me, I'll say, what is the direct benefit for this diasporan who wants to be a part of the development in Cross River State? I mean, you put money where in business you want to have a feedback, you want to have some benefits. So, what is there for an investor?
The head of service earlier said there is a return on investment. You can see your return on investment. You are sure of it. There's an assurance because every participant is a civil servant. And as a civil servant, we all know that where civil servants' monies are being gotten from or taken from. So deductions are easy. As an investor, you have no fear that the person might just disappear. Yes, there are records of service, and then their monies are kept with government or with the financial institutions, which we also are saying, come and do your corporate responsibility this time. So anybody investing is assured of their money. And there's no need to fear. You are assured. Even the financial institutions know that as a civil servant, if you walk to any financial institution for even a loan, hardly will they say no to you because they are assured that their monies or their investments will return back. So we are saying, don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear. There's little or no risk at all. Yes, your monies will return back to you. You are assured of this investment. There is a return on investment that is even risk-free. So please come and invest. Come and invest in your state and on your people. Please.
Okay, I think I like that plea. They say curiosity kills the cat, but I don't think curiosity is going to kill this cat because out of curiosity, I want to ask head of service, isn't there a possibility that this scheme can be carried out without the beneficiary being the civil and public servants not paying a dime for it? Isn't there such possibility?
No, it is always good to furnish consideration. In law, what we mean by consideration is to put your money where your mouth is, so that it is not absolutely free. Something you put down money is more certain that it is yours because you have put down your sweat. But when something comes gratis, it can be taken from you and you will have no remedy or any recourse. So free things are never the best.
So no free lunch, you might say.
Even if there were to be, it's not advised. I, as a lawyer, will not encourage such. Because in law, a free gift without consideration, the donor can always revoke that gift. Yes. If your father, for example, gave you a landed property which you did not pay anything for, the day you upset him, he can revoke that gift and you will have no remedy whatsoever. But if the land from him, maybe ordinarily it should have been 10 million, but he gave you at 500,000 because he took a dime from you, he cannot revoke it. He cannot. Yes. So that's why, as a lawyer, my lawyer part of it will not even put out such an offering.
Okay. So I guess civil servants will be fined by whatever amount they get to pay.
Yes,
So
it will be subsidized. There will be
have
some
to
element of subsidy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So quite importantly, which primary mortgage institutions are you going to use for the housing scheme?
That's too early to disclose, but it will be a conglomerate. It's not going to be a single entity.
Oh.
But because we are running out several schemes in one,
Okay.
at least 6 estates
Okay.
in one scheme. You understand? So spread across different locations. So it will be more expedient to have a multiplicity of stakeholders.
Okay. Robust work coming on in Cross
Yes.
River State, and I'm sure, of course, the doors are open to investors within Cross River, Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large. And I hope that this is going to spell good for Nigerians going forward. Well, I must thank you so much, Barrister Orok.
Thank you.
You showed
Thank you.
yourself as a barrister by letting us know that there's no free lunch, actually. And to you, Baje Ayuk, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
And,
you. Thank you
I'm
for
sure,
having me.
a lot is going to be happening, and we're going to be seeing something good coming from you.
Yes, most definitely.
That's how much we can take. And I know that if you have been listening and you are an investor, this is a clear opportunity to, step in and do the needful. Well, they say, put your money where your mouth is. My name is Esther Kirkobasi, and you've been watching the Diaspora Africa channel in collaboration with CRBC. See you again sometime soon.